Here's the real takeaway from Paul Solt's post. Do not let Codex touch an Xcode project cold. Give the agent a workflow first, then let it code. This same terminal-first pattern works with Codex, Claude Code, Gemini, and the current setup, and you can run it fully local at conductros.com. Now, let's break down what Paul actually linked, what the files do, and which source clips prove the workflow. The X article is short, but the claim is sharp. Skills and plugins keep coding agents from falling back to old Swift habits, stale APIs, and fake confidence from noisy build logs. Paul's write-up says the biggest failure mode is simple. The agent says everything passed, then you open the project and it is still broken. That happens because raw Xcode output is huge, messy, and easy for an agent to misread. So the point of this workflow is not to add more magic. It is to make the feedback loop narrower, cleaner, and harder to fake. That is where AppCreator comes in. On the landing page, Paul frames it as the bridge between agents and Apple projects. The promise is very specific. Scaffold the Xcode project, give the agent repeatable build scripts, surface clean build output, and hook the same commands into existing apps. In his short AppCreator video, you can actually see the result. A real iPhone app is running in the simulator, the build succeeds in the background, and the workflow stays centered on a makefile instead of random shell improvisation. That is the value here. AppCreator is not selling one giant prompt. It is packaging the boring, repeatable steps so the agent can build, test, and recover with less guesswork. The official OpenAI docs line up with that same idea. The Codex iOS guide says to keep the loop CLI first with CodeBibbled or Twist, then add Xcode build MCP only when you need deeper simulator control, screenshots, logs, or UI automation. The agent skills docs make the file format explicit. A skill is a folder built around a skill.md file, plus scripts, references, and assets. In other words, the skill gives Codex a narrow job, a reusable workflow, and the supporting files to perform it reliably. That is why the docs and Paul's article match so well. Both are telling you to stop hoping the model guesses the right Apple workflow from memory. The best proof is in the related clips Paul points people toward. In the Codex skills walkthrough, he opens the official docs and shows the actual structure on screen, skill.md, scripts, references, and assets. Then he explains progressive disclosure, which is just a fancy way of saying the agent should load only the part of the skill it needs right now. In the AppCreator clip, the story gets more practical. You see a working app in the simulator, AppCreator tasks in the sidebar, and successful build output behind it. And in the broader GPT 5.4 workflow clip, the emphasis shifts to how he actually works. Terminal first, multiple projects, and a setup that favors fast iteration over babysitting the GUI. Put those clips together and the post stops looking like a slogan. It turns into a repeatable Apple dev workflow for agents. The reference files matter just as much as the clips. The Swift Agent Skills repository is the public index. It groups real skills for SwiftUI, Swift data, concurrency, testing, accessibility, App Store work, performance, and more. The SwiftUI Pro repository shows what one focus skill looks like in practice, including the install command and the promise to catch deprecated API usage, layout mistakes, performance issues, and accessibility misses. Then there is Swift Agents, which plays a different role. That repo is not a skill pack. It is always on project guidance through AGENTS.md. So the pattern is simple. Use skills for specialized capability. Use AGENTS.md for the rules you want the agent to follow all the time. Together, they give Apple projects a memory the model does not have by default. If you want to copy this locally, do not start by hunting for a perfect super prompt. Start with a repo-level rules file, a small skill folder, and one clean build command the agent can run over and over. That is the real through line across the article, the docs, the clips, and the repos. Shrink the workflow. Name the files. Make the build loop legible. Then let the model move faster inside those rails. When people say an agent is amazing in Xcode, this is usually the part they forget to mention. So the honest review is this. Paul Solt's post is directionally right, and the linked clips and files back it up. Skills first. Clean build loop second. AGENTS.md for project memory. This same approach works with Codex, Claude Code, Gemini, and the current setup, and it can stay fully local at conductros.com. The repos and source clips are worth opening, and I've put the key references on screen so you can copy the workflow, not just admire it.